Hello, my friends. This is Carrie from Skyrise. If we haven't worked together before, then welcome to the cast of Legally Blonde Jr. We are very excited to work with you this week. So I'll be your music director, and you'll also have the opportunity to meet Jake, your stage director, and Mike, our choreographer, very, very soon. We can't wait to see you. And today we're going to talk about auditions for Legally Blonde, okay? So for auditions, we're doing video auditions since we have only 5 days to learn and perform the entire show. The first thing we're going to talk about right now is the song and dance audition. So you should have a page that looks kind of like this. It says Legally Blonde Remix Part 3. This is the song and dance combination. So we're going to have everybody do this one. You're going to sing and dance at the same time. So once you're feeling really good on the singing section, I'm gonna have you take a look a little further down this page to find a video of Mike, and he's gonna teach you the dance section. When you send us your videos, we'd love for you to do the song and the dance at one time. We know it's a lot, but you guys are gonna be awesome. So let's dive in. We're gonna start with the soprano part, so the higher voices. If you feel like you typically prefer an alto part or some harmony, there's another video that I'm gonna put up that goes for the same thing with the alto harmony, so you can take a look for that right below. All right, but right now we're doing the soprano. So, soprano part, Legally Blonde Remix Part 3, song and dance combination. Your vocals. We're gonna start the music about 26 seconds, okay, which is a transition in the music, you'll hear it. And then at 33 seconds, you start singing, okay? So the dance actually starts slightly before the singing. When we sing, we have back in the game, back in the fray. Try that much, ready? Back in the game, back in the fray. Then this next part, you've got Vivian, Brooke, Paulette, and then the chorus part. So we're gonna sing the solo part, okay? So the Vivian, Brooke, Paulette, and then it becomes just Brooke in a minute, okay? So the next line is, back on up out of her way. Try that one time. Back on up out of her way. And then 2 beats to breathe. And then you have, Mister, you're fired. Guess who I hired to represent me? You gotta be. This is that note on B is 12 and a half beats. It's a long time. So when we hold a note for a really long time, what are some things that we can do with it? We got to make it exciting, right? So what's written in here, if you look at your music, you'll probably see the crescendo, right? It looks like a sideways V and it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. So that means we'll get a little louder as we go through it. Okay, so when we do that line, we'll do, guess who I hired to represent me? You gotta be. Getting louder the whole time. Then you have a beat and a half to breathe. And then, Legally Blonde. Lots of notes on that. So let's break that down kind of slow, right? These kinds of very cool modern songs have lots of notes. So we have Legally Blonde, right? So, da, 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 da. The hardest note is the second one when you first come down. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 repeats, right? So, da, 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 da. Let's try that from Legally. The first Lee is up here, and that blonde is a little lower. Do you guys hear that? It's a C natural when you got Legally, and then in the blonde, it becomes a C flat. All right, it's a tricky thing. I love tricky things though. All right, so we have Legally Blonde, right? The next one is a little bit different, but you have that same C natural first, then C flat next. So Legally Blonde. You hear that? That one's maybe even a little bit trickier. So fun, right? So let's do the second one, second Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde. You come back up at the end, right? Then the last Legally Blonde, you're going up to the high note, higher voices. Legally Blonde. Now this is written as 7 beats with a single beat rest. I strongly advise you to take that rest, you know, count out those 7 beats, then take the rest so you can breathe before the very last thing, because we're sitting a little bit higher there at the end. You have Legally Blonde, oh yeah, right? This line was a little bit different than I anticipated, having heard the score before. So if that's the same for you, don't worry, you're not alone. But let's learn what we have written here. So we've got Legally Blonde, oh yeah. And that's the end, okay? So let's go through the whole thing once without the music, then we're gonna do it with the track so you can hear how it all fits, all right? So from Back in the Game, you have back in the game, back in the fray, back on up, out of her way. Rest, rest. Mister, you're fired. Guess who I hired to represent me? You gotta be. Breathe. Legally blonde. Legally blonde. Legally blonde. Then you've got legally blonde, oh yeah. Right? Does that kind of make sense to everybody? Let's try with the music, and then I think you'll be feeling great. Once you're feeling awesome with this and you can sing it along with the track, then I'm gonna have you go over and start working on that dance too, okay? All right, a little bit of an intro. And here's the dance. And we sing, ready? Back in the game, back in the fray, back on up, out of her way. Mister, you're fired. Guess who I hired to represent me? You gotta be legally blonde, legally blonde, legally blonde, legally blonde, oh yeah. It's like everybody get the idea there, right? There's a lot to it. It's a lot of fun. It's high energy. It's fast, and you've got the dance as well. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know. We're happy to help any way that we can. And we can't wait to see your videos, and we're very much looking forward to working with you very soon. Bye.